Так, ну что ж там впереди нас ждет? А впереди нас ждет что там? Здравствуйте, здравствуйте, здравствуйте. Я живой, все хорошо. Прям как наш герой. Живой, как наш герой. Опа. Так я не помню, куда мы... Так, мы идем с фонарем. Куда мы идем с фонарем? К скамейке. Не забывай. Не забывай. Могут бегать с фонарем для дополнительного освещения. Чё? Сейчас он какой-то новый персонаж. Вот я дурачок. Мы стремительно просто стремимся вперед. Даже не буду вспоминать, что было вчера. Знаю, что нужно осматривать места. Осматривать места. Чё?
This is it, the scene of the party. The fire pit. Cigarettes and empty bottles all evidence it. Not as such. I'm talking about what came after the party scene. Looks like they were here a while, judging from all the bottles. The sunken motor carriage provided them a focal point, like a goose ice sculpture or a chocolate fountain.
Looks like it.
Ну, это вряд ли.
Not as such, no. Let's keep moving, detective.
Somehow, he doesn't want to dwell on it.
Почему-то ему не хочется, ну, я даже знаю почему, что он устал. Он уже хочет закончить с этим делом, принять душ у себя дома, может даже в ванную. Интересно, он ходит по дому в кимоно? Или вот в том логическом кимоно, что у меня есть похожим? Или нет? Надо посмотреть, что у меня там на карте вообще, куда надо идти. Да почему? Нажимаю не то. Так, по заданию у нас. Задание у нас. Пирс. Остров. Я же стою на пирсе. Это же пирс? Или нет пирс, тот пирс. Старый пирс. Большой пирс. Старый большой пирс. Не понял. Но он там с крыши. Там, где лестница, там, где я не могу пройти, было бы классно пройти. Только как? Как? Я не понимаю. Вот пирс, вот. Не этот пирс. Сколько тут пирсов-то? Нет, не здесь. Так, сейчас просто откроем карту и посмотрим. Ты мне так не покажешь. Ты мне так не покажешь, да? Странно это как-то. Ты вот это решил заметить, а... Да, карта у нас прям так просто добавилась, да? Нет.
The worn map feature your finger moves. Find
For more detailed.
Понятно. Сложно как-то. Сложно. Почему? Типа... Я пришел на пирс, почему он ничего не смотрит, не замечает? Ничего не смотрит, может не этот пирс. Есть еще какой-то третий пирс. 25-й пирс. Ну, пойдемте просто вдоль. Вдоль, и я надену все на внимательность. Прям все, что у меня есть. На внимательность. А что у меня вообще есть на внимательность? Ну, вернее, восприятие. Не внимательность, на восприятие. Ничего нет. Все уже надето давным-давно. Боюсь, что вот это может вести куда-то.
an old door worn by elements guards the depot.
From here to the whirling, I can't see how. The church is in the way.
Ага, понятно. Может, это проход в то здание? Ты не думал об этом?
Is there something here that would indicate a sniper used this place as a nest for taking the shot? Just some urban detritus, a bottle, and a dilapidated old comms tower.
Так, сейчас Антон отвечу. Так,
In the distance you can hear the breakers roar.
I don't see it, Lieutenant W. Freitor. I don't see a person take a shot here and hit something there. In the whirling in rags. It's not possible to climb that ladder. And even if it were, why? There's no platform up there to aim from. Those? A smoking assailant who favors Tumutiri to Astra or Joan? Cigarette butts are everywhere. This is a common brand for all men.
Still, you felt it was important enough to make a mental note. That means something. you didn't pay attention to any of the other cigarette butts on the coast.
To warm his hands before pulling the trigger? Perhaps. But anyone could have made this. The coast is specked with fires this time of year. Truthfully, this seems like a very poor choice to take a 1.2 kilometer rifle shot from. Visibility is awful. There's water vapor everywhere. I think we can rule out biddable prime, was it?
There, 1.2 kilometers over the cold water of the bay, through a thick snowstorm melting flake by flake in the waves, you see the smallest rectangle, barely visible. A glowing light on the third floor of the whirling in rags. With binoculars, you would see a young woman's shape move behind the glass, her limbs long and slender.
Понятно, ладно, согласен. Допустим, согласен, ладно. Ну да, это маловероятно, правда. Так, что у нас еще? Пирс и... Что за остров? Остров, до которого не добраться? А как добраться до острова, до которого не добраться? Может, нас девочка отвезет на лодке? Ну, девушка, женщина, мать детей, девочка. С пирсом надо разобраться. Так. Неочевидные пути какие. С пирсом надо разобраться. Куда там надо встать, чтобы он начал обозревать все? Куда-то так встать, чтобы церковь не мешала. Нет, сюда ты не пройдешь. А сюда незачем. Ну, давай где-нибудь здесь, да? Да ну чё? Ну ладно, значит не здесь. А где тогда? Что за пирс? Какой пирс? Может, имеется в виду вот это здание все-таки, на которое я не знаю, как забраться? Может быть, нам расскажет тот мужик? Да, выходи. Мужик с сыном нам расскажет. Вот лестница, но я в жизни по ней не поднимусь.
Hello again. Sure, what's on your mind? Yes, they even built a pleasure wheel, but that got destroyed in the war.
A pleasure wheel?
Perhaps reminded of a childhood memory. It's clear he would prefer there were a big wheel lighting up the coast.
Yes, to lure in their star engineers. This part of Martinaise was nothing but reeds before Feld arrived. They had to make the prospect of living here attractive. It was supposed to become a global center for innovation in cybernetics. But history had other plans.
Блин, все это все, что ты можешь мне сказать про здание?
But of course, what else?
Вход, мне нужен вход. Мне нужен вход. Я вижу вон там лестницу. А можно еще отдалить? Я как бы знаю, понимаю, что с другой стороны, но нет никаких проходов. Здесь не идет. Что это вообще за... С другой стороны не идет. Снизу там нигде не пройти. Может там есть какой-нибудь неочевидный подъем, я не знаю. Тут тоже нигде не это. Да, иди давай. Иди давай нормально, ходи. Да как туда перейти-то? Очень непонятно. Как будто реально через ту дверь надо идти, что ли? Как будто бы они связаны там где-то. Но это не явно, ну типа, скорее всего, да, это вот это здание, только как на него попасть, я не понимаю. Глупый, наверное. Но это тоже не отсюда, вряд точно не отсюда. Точно не отсюда. Ладно, пойдем поговорим с женщиной-рыбаком, рыбачкой, рыболовницей. Так, так. Ну-ка, отвези меня. У тебя же лодка есть?
Aye, the sea's gonna calm down soon. I can feel it. The wind is turning. Oh? Well, how can I assist you then, officer?
Да блин, а чё, будут? Нет, новые реплики.
Unfortunately, the factory sold this one with a 3 gun. From time to time, people.
Я не пойду с ней на свидание.
Some went to gone.
Ну, потому что у меня шансов почти нет.
No, no. There's nothing to find.
Что?
Now, before you tell me how sorry you are for
Не
my
слышу.
loss, know that it was 4 years ago,
Так
and I've
нечем.
moved on. There's only so much mourning you can do for a drunk with us working folk. Don't
Я
have
не хочу сейчас это все слушать.
This is neither a touchy. She looks like she's ready to go on a date with another.
Как попасть на тот остров? Я почему-то придумал логичные какие-то типа ходы, да, но игра такая нет. Это не так работает. Вот лодка. Возьмите лодку, сплавайте на лодке. Ничего не понимаю. Ничего не понимаю. Надоел этот фонарь. Может вы что? Это... Тоже вряд ли они мне чем-то помогут.
Tequila Sunset.
Плевать. Хотя...
We are saving the world. Please, please don't go. Don't go.
Okay, we're drinking. We're drinking alcohol. That's what we're doing. I tried to save the world once, a long time ago, with enterprise, creativity, and willpower. But that didn't work out. So now it's a pirate's life for me.
Пират. Ну, неужели эти из Тита опять разговаривают? Вот, Ирина, вы же смотрите, да? И видите, что типа как-то все странно, нелогично. Ну, типа, как мне попасть на остров, на который нельзя попасть, если не на лодке? А как мне попасть в здание, в которое, ну, типа, нет прохода? Что игра от меня хочет в этом случае? У меня даже есть кусачки, которыми я мог бы перекусить вот этот забор. Типа, вот этот забор кусачками. Я понимаю, что главный герой вряд ли сможет по лестнице подняться, допустим. Это не страшно. Может, тут какой-то проход, который я не вижу? Нет. Нет, нет. Никаких скрытых проходов нет. Здесь тоже он не ходит. Никуда там не может прийти. Здесь нету мысли о стрельбе, значит отсюда не стреляли. А почему ты не увез до сих пор тело, а?
A man lies on the boardwalk, his limbs bent and neck turned at an unnatural angle. Right next.
Ладно. Так вот лодка стоит, но ничего не делает. Я даже с ней, ну, типа, взаимодействовать с ней не могу. Но было бы логично. Может, здесь какой-то проход есть на тот остров, который я не заметил? Но нет, он же не зря называется недосягаемый остров. Где-то вот там вот. В недосягаемости. Ладно, ладно, ладно. Сейчас еще раз к лодочке подойду, если ничего не изменится. Пойдем разговаривать с Тито. С Тито и его командой. Ну, оказывается, эта команда не совсем его. Ха. Вот лежит лодка, раз. Вот, вот, раз лодка. Два лодка. Три лодка. Четыре лодка. Но он никак не загорается взаимодействие, никак не взаимодействует. Взаимодействие с лодкой. Нет, не хочет. Ладно. Еще раз почитаю задание. Угу. Как мне это сделать? К чему вот этот вот проход, который никуда не ведет? Тоже тут все заперто, но он есть. Непонятно. Неясно, непонятно. такое ощущение, что каких-то навыков не хватает, поэтому мы ничего не можем сделать.
It's you again. What is it?
Что там логика невозможна? Сейчас на логику еще. Еще чуть-чуть на логику оденусь. Еще раз. Еще раз. Чтобы наверняка прокрутить все делишки. Так, мой халатик. Великолепный. Рубашечка. Очечки. Не, вот так вот. Гораздо лучше, чем вот так вот. Так. Что, вот эта шляпа дает больше логики? Не знал. Ну, прости. Прости меня, бамбуковая шапка.
It's you again. What is it?
Что мне надо? А что тебе надо?
A sudden flash of lightning in your neocortex. The hostel cafeteria is lit by its airy blaze. Floor plans, bullet trajectories, webs of human emotion, all channeled into a single thought.
So that's what you were squinting at. You were trying to come up with a theory, weren't you? That she did it.
Yeah, he was cobbling together shit so he could put her away. It's RCM 101.
Well, let old Titus set your mind at ease then. She didn't do it. She was here all night.
Sunday night, 11:30 to 12:15. She was here all that time?
Yeah, with us, drinking, near the stage there.
No. All right, she took a fucking leak, okay? For one moment. Maybe went out too. She has a complex operation to run from her lorry. She's a busy girl. Always has been.
Ты тупой.
You know this already. It all fits together. Ruby, the missing Hardy, was present at the hanging and running the drug trade.
Just because she was gone for 5 minutes doesn't mean she
Kisa.
magically got to the roof and shot the
Ну-ка,
murderer.
давай это.
I've been through this. It's not plausible.
All right, we're in. We got Ruby unaccounted for sometime during the window. This was crucial. Now let's place her on that roof.
Ты согласен, что стреляли?
Oh. People say there was a pinball arcade here, sometime before the hostel. What was it called, Theo?
East Delta Pinball Arcade. Weird place. Went bankrupt.
Okay, but how'd you get up? There's no room for a staircase in this building. Or an elevator, for that matter.
The elevator is outside the building. It's an old dumbwaiter used for moving pinball machines up and down from the workshop. Ruby could have gone up, shot him, come down. All under 7 minutes.
Мощно у него.
That's quite the theory. We need to have a look at that secret passage, boys.
I'm on it, boss. Right when the law clears, me and Angus are going up there.
It's a dumbwaiter, not an industrial lift. How about I go instead of...
Shush now. You got something else to back this route up? Or is that it? Firmly doesn't go well with could've. There's a route to the roof. Me and the boys need to check it out. That's what we established.
Чё, кто ты такой, установщик? Иди устанавливай холодильники.
Does not put that bullet in his head. A gun does that, and Ruby doesn't carry one.
Блин.
Phase 2. Murder weapon. Get a gun in her hand. If not that, then at least a shadow of a doubt. In the shape of a gun. Just don't contradict yourself. If it doesn't sound like Ruby did it, maybe keep it to yourself.
Ну это глупо, я же приехал. Да, кто угодно может найти пушку, кроме нас. Ха! Вот так вот скажем.
You lost your gun?
Зря я так сказал. Я что-то об этом я не подумал.
What an idiot!
Tell me, did you lose it before the murder?
Так... Нет.
Of course not. And Ruby didn't use your lost gun to kill him.
Stop thinking about your lost gun, damn it. You'll get a heart attack.
This was merely a thought exercise. He did not lose his gun. Let's move on.
Ну да.
Look, fucko. Ruby and I are pretty tight. She would have showed me the gun if she had one. She knows I love guns.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, everyone knows Glenn loves guns.
I don't know, Glenny. Ruby's a little secretive, isn't she? Wasn't like she told you every little thing.
This one does not like Ruby. May prove useful.
She organizes things. She doesn't whack people. That's not the kind of person she is. She's a talker.
It's clear this one is protective of her.
Easy now, Glenn. What he's trying to say is, people who don't have guns don't shoot people. You need a gun for that. You can't prove she has one.
You don't need to prove anything. Doubt is enough for now. And Titus must have some.
Now what the hell are we supposed to do with that?
He's trying to woo us with cop science. Forensic shit. I heard this mambo jumbo.
Yeah, but the mambo jambo he's saying goes against his theory A.
Не, ничего не опровергают. 72% это большая.
It does?
Yes.
Just making sure we are on the same page. It doesn't all fit. We are just sharing info, candidly.
Titus doesn't reply. Probably a good sign.
I don't know, Cop. Why don't you find your lost gun first?
Easy now, Al. This isn't comedy hour.
Titus, we're not seriously considering it, are we? Ruby wouldn't do this. Why would she do something like this?
Phase 3. Motive. The last component. The big one. Get this and they'll give her to you. Remember, don't piss him off. That never works.
And I suppose you have a theory on that.
Think about it. Why go through all that effort? It was her idea, wasn't it? The hanging. You went along, but she suggested it.
She had, like, a fully formed plan and shit. Right when she came back downstairs.
Мутный не любит ее, нам подыгрывает лошара.
Really, Shanks? Closio wanted to talk to another girl, that's all. She was just the first one up there. I could have come up with that plan if I'd have been first.
Ты бы ничего не придумал.
Time for a logics demonstration.
I didn't do it, fucker! It wasn't my plan!
You probably did, though.
It's just a thought experiment. Think, Shanky. You killed him. You got up there, shot him, cut down.
Fuck you, man! I would never fuck my guys over like that.
She didn't either. She would never do that. Why aren't more of you defending her? This is fucking stupid, Titus.
Glenn, I thought the same thing when she skipped town and left us in this shit.
Ha. Ha.
Oh, so he didn't rule her out completely. And she skipped town. This is good. Silence. He looks around the room. The old man in the corner nods. A very small nod, and a trickle of tobacco spit on his lip. This is the only option he cares for.
Yeah, I see it. There's one more thing I've been wondering about. Ever since you asked me where she is. Add it to your list of suspicions, if you won't. I don't know. I don't know where she went. She just got up and left. Got real scared, too. Wouldn't tell me where. However hard I asked. Want to know why? She was afraid I would tell you. Maybe she was right. By now, I probably would.
She knew there's evidence on her, and she knew we'd find it. This is typical suspect behavior, why fleeing is always incriminatory.
Perhaps. Ask her if you find her. It won't be easy, though. She made sure of that. Friday afternoon, when you first arrived, I got word the RCM was in town. Then she came in to see me. told me she was leaving. That's when we had our little conversation. I told you. You. No, you. As in the cop with the sideburns and the disco clothes.
О, даже так. Потому что я псих, она чувствует психов издалека.
And a hole in his heart. That first.
Нет. Потешный галстук.
How can I forget?
Я же не в галстуке, ну ладно.
You know, when I first saw you limping here, I thought she was paranoid or sniffing her own supply. But now I'm not so sure.
Ну, типа, они меня недооценили, а она сразу поняла, что я, типа, суперкоп.
She said you have a funny taste in clothes, and that you won't stop.
Это правда.
Until you have something on her. She said she's heard of you from Jamrock, that you're a human can opener. You play suspects against each other. Open them up. Like cans.
Жесть. Это я. Как приятно. В смысле, наш
Fucking
персонаж.
hell. Titus, did he just...
Open Angus up like a can? Yes, he did. Now, we can whine about it, whack him, or we can go on with our lives. I'm having a go on with our lives kind of day, Al. How about you?
It's not an actual question. Silence. He nods.
Хим.
You are insistent.
Фига себе. Так приятно.
Yeah, there was something else. She wouldn't tell me, though. I could see she wanted to. It was burning on her lips. This called Titus. This called Pete. But she was too scared. She's not far. We know that much. She didn't take her lorry, so she's on foot.
Good fucking luck, man. She knows this place like the back of her hand. You'll never find her.
Yeah, Al. And we won't either.
She's not really a hardy candidate anymore, is she?
She's not, Glenn. A little. On the coast.
Where have you looked for her, more precisely?
More precisely, on the coast, past the waterlog. She's not here, so I'm thinking she's there. Sure, there's some shithouses there, a cinderblock town. Fisherfolk there refuse to unionize, so that's one place we haven't looked. I hear they have a shack where junkies sometimes crash. Time for you to step up.
We will start there. One more question. What does Ruby look like?
Boyish. Hair's red. Dyed. She looks like a Lowry man. The what now? I have no idea. Boys?
She said she's building a pale emitter.
What?
We were talking about radio equipment. She said she's doing Yulan frequencies and a hail something. I don't know more.
Серости.
This guy barely understands what he's talking about.
There you have it. Hail something.
It feels like you'll get to know soon enough.
It'll have to.
Да, конечно. Так я не хочу сжать ему руку. За что ему сжать руку? Он тратил мое время. Пошел ты.
Asshole till the end, huh? Well, fuck you, too, then.
Тратил мое время со своей подругой адвокаторшей. Адвокатессой. Все. Козьёль. Ну, это она выкупила мой ствол, когда я приехал. Стой. А что за дом из шлакоблоков, где тусуются нарики?
You think you have a pretty hot suspect right now, don't you? That ruby of yours? Notice how it came together without casting too much suspicion on Classier. It was nice and ruby-centric in the end. Anything strike you a bit off about this mishmash?
Вообще, на самом деле, возможно, они сговорились. Типа, да, Классия хорошо играет. Блин, она бывший как его, крала документы из предприятий, агент под прикрытием, типа Джеймс Бонд. И типа притвориться, что ей грустно, почему бы нет? Ни одно чувство нормально не отвечало на ее это.
Notice how this hasn't come up at all. Even Hardy and his boys didn't mention it. Neither did you. No, they didn't. Absolutely. It could have come from anywhere, but you're suddenly so certain it came from the roof behind the window.
Ну, ты мне не помог, конечно.
That's right. Finish thought. Just finish it and conveniently go on. She's watching you leave right now, you know that. Free as a bird on that roof, lighting up a cigarette and thinking, am I glad Ruby's in this shit and not me? Don't listen to this guy. The theory was solid. He's just jealous. Move on. It's no use harassing her further.
Во мне сейчас в игровом процессе, да, вот в этом, две сущности борются за мой выбор. Давайте пойдем сейчас сходим к классе, к блондинке, и посмотрим, могу я ее, не знаю, арестовать, что ли? Вот. Или нет? Ну, типа, у меня даже должны какие-то быть доводы. Но я все равно сейчас попробую поизменить ли какой-нибудь диалог с ней. Будет ли что-то новое. Вот. Возможно, сейчас мы найдем Руби. начнем с ней разговаривать и раскрутим ее на то, что да, не виновата, и все-таки виновата блондинка. Блондинку? Мне нужен анализ. Переодеться в что-нибудь эмпатийное. Нет, визуальный анализ важнее. Так. Так. Через лифт, может, проедем? Через лифт поменьше загрузок будет. Но я не знаю. Дело ведь не в моем желании кого-то арестовать. На самом деле я бы и Тита арестовал, и всех за помощь, за помеху в расследовании, за какую-нибудь, я не знаю. Посадил бы всех забастовщиков за то, что они мешают работать. Посадил бы тех пацанов, которые хотели варить мед в церкви, хотят варить мед в церкви. Так что я бы кого вот до всех бы докопался и всех бы посадил. Так что и это не мой выбор, это слово закона, это буква закона. Если блондинка убила его, но попросила Рубика почему-то ее типа прикрыть, как-то обманула или заставила, или еще что-то. Либо они вообще сговорились, одна стреляла, другая его держала, я не знаю. То почему я не должен садить блондинку, если она тоже будет виновна? Суть, логика ясна? Так, я же не говорю. Я тоже не хочу, может, нет, я хочу, ладно, я.
I was just thinking, what a nice day for questions pertaining to a murder investigation. I really don't know, sir. I certainly don't feel like I've won. I feel like shit, sir. All the time.
She smiles. A bitter little smile. She means it.
Clearly, I haven't. We're having this conversation, aren't we? How well could it have gone, I mean? I'm stuck in Martinez just like all of us. I've been up here for... I don't know how long now. I like to call this my rooftop containment facility. For my sins, of course. The long-standing sins of a bad, frivolous person. For destroying my first love. For working for bad people. The list goes on and on. I don't know what to say. None of this is fortuitous for me.
She nods, slowly, carefully even. There is suddenly a strange glint in her eyes. Not malicious, but dangerous.
Давай, драма, вставай.
Who? What? Dear Lord, you've been lied to. She could have killed her lover and lied to everyone. She's not the most fair and just at all. She's smoke and mirrors and will-o'-wisps. She probably didn't give you her real name either. Why would she? Arrest her immediately, before she further entangles you in her web of lies. Take it easy. Don't overcompensate with this course correction. Ask questions first. Yes, start at the top. Choose at the bottom. It's how we've always done it. No rush. See?
I agree. You wouldn't give us your real name, not when people are after you.
Okay.
Что хорошо.
Okay, it's not. You log your work every week. It's all transmitted to Commencer. I couldn't just beg you not to enter my name, so I lied.
Простите, Ирина, но...
Like I lied before. Like I did at LCSB. I have to lie all the time. I'm so tired of it. No. It's submerged in a plastic buoy on the coast, in the reeds. It just doesn't say Clausia Amandu. It says Anouk Mea Smith.
Анук проще запомнить, чем Клаузия. Классия.
Falsified documents?
Passport and visa. Given to me by my employer. I can't even use them. My employer probably leaked the name, Maya Smith, to hurt me.
Why would they do that?
I didn't show up to a rendezvous. They don't take that lightly. I didn't show up because I was afraid they'd do something to me. The job was finished. I'm just a liability now.
She fears an arrest right here and now. This has been an awful turn of events for her.
West of the boardwalk, in the reeds, on the coast there. I put it there when I first arrived. Haven't been there since. I'm not sure I could even find it now. It's useless.
The lieutenant makes a note of it.
Ну это мы заберем, да, как улики.
You're welcome to it. It's in the reeds northwest of here, past a Bergen sewage pipe, right near the waterline. It's Katarzyna Lazie.
Катерина буду называть ее. Катерина.
Could it mean Glasia is an alacronym for Katarzyna Alazie?
Прикольно.
It was a sentimental thing. I wanted to be more me here, this time. So I used my nickname.
A nickname? Who gave you this nickname, Glasia?
A teenage boy. 1,000,000 years ago.
She nods. Her round eyes meet yours. They seem moist from the wind on the roof.
I am. They can never take my sash and my scepter from me.
Yes, they can, for lying. She nods, her back straight, ready for whatever is next.
I did. What is this? I called your desk or whatever it is. The numbers are all over town. Call 8-100-2 for emergencies. There was an older woman on the other end. It sounded like she was smoking. She took my complaint. She coughed.
That is the emergencies desk number. Anyone could know that, sire, by looking around and calling the desk. I don't believe a single word she says.
What time did you make the call?
Thursday night. It was late, sometime after 12.
It checks out.
But I know the time of the call, too. I know I have not been 100% truthful with you, officers.
No.
But I am now.
You sense a little hesitation there, or maybe even fear. The stress was on the wrong syllable. Welcome to the wake-up club, brother.
But I haven't done anything illegal.
Failure to aid a police investigation. She purposefully misrepresented information crucial to the case. Fucking mind games. Enough. That's right, gang. Stern and merciless now. Stern and merciless as we reel her in.
Нет, ну промышленный шпионаж вообще пофиг. Это еще доказать надо. Может, она тоже врет.
The lieutenant produces a pair of handcuffs.
Please, no. I think I know who did it. I know who shot Ledley. You know it wasn't me. Why would I do it? I have no motive.
She's silent for a second, as if looking into herself for certainty. Then, in a hushed voice, gearing up for this betrayal is hard for her.
Ruby. She has this thing for me. Ever since I met her and the boys downstairs. She's been pretty frank about what she wants. Sex. And more. I made the mistake of confiding in her. I told her I was on the run. She started protecting me. It became an unhealthy relationship. When I started spending time with Lely, she told me to end it. Said there would be shit if I didn't. It was not a good meeting. We stopped talking after that, but...
I don't understand. What exactly in your relationship made you think she's romantically interested in you?
She said she's in love with me. She even asked me to run away with her when I told her I'm a fugitive. She started developing notions about our relationship.
And you led her on?
A little. I was flattered, you know? But then I had to let her off, and it was not easy. I came to regret being friendly with her. We maybe kissed, nothing more. I know what it sounds like. That's why I didn't want to tell you before. But she knew what had happened when I came downstairs. Somehow, she knew Lely was dead. She wasn't surprised at all. When we came up here, she was calm as a stone, too. She cleaned it all up like she had a plan.
This is a familiar theory. You had it too, remember? Could it be that Ruby was covering up after herself, the lynching? Yet again, you're coming up with this. The worst thing is, it may be true.
She came over one night, drunk, said she'd turn my life into a living hell. I've been threatened before, so I can tell when someone knows how to do it. And she's a pro. She must be, to keep the Hardys in line. I tried severing ties with her after that. I thought it had worked, but...
Some of that fear is still with her. She exhales sharply. What are you talking about? She's afraid you'll arrest her.
You've been through there, right? I saw you come out. It leads downstairs. She could have come to the roof through that, then made the shot right here, where I stand. It was dark outside. I wouldn't have seen her.
Then slipped back downstairs without anyone noticing. That is possible.
Interesting theory. Did she know that door exists? Had you been out there with her?
Yes, of course. She's been up here many times, jacking private stations off the ring antenna. She used to come here to drink on the roof with me, before it got weird.
Okay, and what? Arrest the liar now. Don't arrest her. Push her a bit more, but then let her off. That Ruby theory was solid. And she's beautiful. Her. Stop letting her distract you.
Это очень важный выбор. Ладно. Но в следующий раз.
Thank you. Thank you. You won't regret it.
Something tells you, you will. She slowly lights another cigarette and steadies her breath, as if in the presence of some tiger. You are. This is not the end of this.
Ничего не буду говорить, просто ладно, пусть. Может, она и вправду любила его, может, ей и вправду очень больно. Да, она мне помешала, но я гигант мыслей и, ну, подумаешь, потратил пару недель, чтобы... потратил неделю игрового времени, чтобы и разгадать эту головоломку. Ничего страшного. Ну, мы же еще раз будем проходить. И, может быть, даже еще раз. Так вот. Так что, рано или поздно она получит другой исход событий. Так вот. Ты маленький котечек. Котечек маленький. Так. Уроды. Я почти дело раскрыл, а вы тут что? Сидите просто. Мудаки. Все хорошо. Никакого разочарования. Только очарование этой игрой. Так вот. Прям. Какой смерти? Еще же не факт, что если мы ее арестуем, она умрет. Это не факт. Или вы что-то знаете, чего не знаю я? Какой смерть? Смерть. Не знаю, как попасть... Кажется, кто-то знает больше, чем нужно. Или больше, чем я. Ну ладно, я не осуждаю. Я на самом деле очень сам держусь от того, чтобы посмотреть какое-нибудь прохождение или какие-нибудь советы по прокачке или еще что-нибудь такое, чтобы понять, как лучше играть. Вот прям сдерживаю себя как могу. Ты же не здесь сидишь? Это было бы странно. Что я сразу забегал. Другой бы, наверное, на моем месте перед прохождением все посмотрел, как лучше играть. Но я не люблю так. Нет, точно. Чё? Да тихо.
It's only a red chair. Just a red chair in an empty shack, with what looked like a dusty bow tie on the shelf. Nothing to see here, right?
In someone's abandoned shack. On the coast. In Martinez. In Ravachol.
He's afraid you've forgotten suddenly.
It's just a piece of clothing you've picked up. You do that, officer. You collect clothes sometimes.
He sounds a little worried. It's an odd habit. Don't be worried, Lieutenant. Clothes are therapeutic.
You took me up for that shit? You fucking
Put the horrific necktie back on immediately, or you will miss out on the final showdown. This is your last warning. Put me back on.
Yes, agreed. You should never take your necktie off. Ever.
Nothing. It's just a piece of furniture.
Red paint is peeling off it. Looks like blood, no?
Here. I don't see signs of recent habitation. This place is abandoned.
See? He doesn't like the vibration from the red chair either.
А, ну бабочку я забрал, да. О, я прокачал... Я вкинул в это... В Империю очко, и вот история про стул. Так. Ну, или что-то типа того. Да, галстук вообще скандалист, истеричка и алкоголик. Может, следующее прохождение будем не снимать галстук? На самом деле я хотел бы себе такой галстук цветной, разговаривающий. Может быть, ты видела кого-то? Может, ты видела кого-то? Почему мне никто не рассказывает, что видел или не видел кого-нибудь подозрительного? Ты же могла видеть. Что?
Either he's gonna calm down soon, I can...
Ой, да. Чё? А ты что здесь делаешь? Ты кто такая?
I'll just keep the corda lacey in the channel, if that's okay. It's too shallow near the pier. Hi, ma'am. And it's a jetty, by the way. Of course. Jetty. I prefer a good jetty to a pier any day. Jetty. Hello, detectives. It's good to see you here. I only just arrived myself.
А зачем?
What brings you here, madame?
Nothing, really. I've had my eye on this jetty for weeks now, so I decided to investigate it personally. This cluster of buildings isn't on any of the official maps, as far as I can tell.
That. And she's also keeping an eye on you.
Spying has such a negative connotation. I did track your progress along the coast, however, and decided I would be better able to assist you from here. Then there's the matter of that little scamp in old lady clothes. She threatened to paint the cordelate red. Like blood, you see. Well, I like it the way it is. White.
What is this? Destruction of property, hooliganism, elder abuse, and who is this scamp anyway?
No need. Lillian and I are getting on much better. For one, she appreciates the concept of rent. How do I like it?
Water drips down eaves of Eternite. The jetty below her feet creaks to the tune. The smell of salt and dog shit in the background.
It's pornographically poor. The street has no name, all the men are dead or missing. And is that the carcass of a motor carriage over there? I'm surprised that woman hasn't put me to the sword yet. Maybe she will. You should ask your questions while you can.
Dark eyes survey the coast leading up to Martinez. Dull grey metal rests in her scabbard. A sword. The wind is too loud for her to hear.
Fortunately for you, madame, the RCM is on the scene.
All right. Politics time. Let's react. Real men, real politics, real thoughts in your head.
Oh, I'm not frightened, officer. I'd never...
It's early spring, and the rains are coming. An officer enters a low hut of stone and wood. Inside, weapons are piled against the walls. Rifles with splintering stocks. And swords. Tens, if not hundreds. They're antiques, says Lieutenant John, the archetype McCoy, to his partner. They're digging them up from the catacombs now, fixing them. Old caches from the revolution. The children carry them up. Come May, the streets will be flooded. Outside, the wind rattles the loose hatches, flooded with cheap weapons in angry hands.
Have I told you how they discovered this place? No, they're in Celindian, Isla. I'm guessing you don't know then. Well, your condition has left you no worse off than most of these people. The literacy rate is around 45% west of the river. 50 years of occupation have left these people in an oblivion of poverty. I knew you would sympathize. Most Revacholians will never know what this place means. Our home. This island of matter. Or why they were ferried over in the first place. Remind me to tell you one day. For now, how can I assist you in this new location?
Некогда мне с ним болтать.
Detectives.
Thank you, ma'am. Do keep an eye on your boat.
Какой смысл ехать на острова, на остров и идти в здание, откуда не стреляли, чисто чтобы... Не. Хватит уже галочки в журнале отмечать, пора раскрыть это дело. Да, ты дикий. Ты что-нибудь видел? Ты видел что-нибудь?
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. Nay, I haven't seen anyone lately. This is my little cinder block town. I know what goes on around here.
She's being evasive. She knows something.
There was a murder in Martinez. She might be a suspect. We would appreciate your help.
Would you now? I know how this world works, and it doesn't work when people tell on each other. No, it's not like that, man. With him we called you. Right now, you just arrived by yourself, like a raven plucking at the window glass. There's not much to tell. People come and go. Now, was there something else?
I see, ma'am. I hope you don't mind if we look around anyway.
You should look around your shack. Maybe she's rented it out to others too.
Чё? В смысле мою хижину? Это моя хижина. Я бы не хотел с ней встречаться в моей хижине. У нее ствола, у меня нет. Она убьет меня, лейтенант убьет ее. Я не хочу умирать. Но это мое предположение. Я просто сейчас представил вот эту ситуацию. Стоим мы втроем. Она в меня целится, лейтенант целится в нее. Чего?
As you look at the floorboards in this corner of the shack, it's clear one of them isn't quite. The edge of a floorboard next to it looks scratched. Hollow space underneath the floorboards is dark and damp. You can barely make out the mixture of sand and sawdust below. Nothing particular catches your eye. Looks like more reeds. There might be something hidden inside the sand, though. Something bad. Someone's night thoughts. A last resort. A bad idea. You stick your hand in and start combing through the sand. Dry, not like outside. Fine dust. And then, something hard wrapped in paper. A small cylindrical object. You pull it out. A bullet.
Мой пистолет, она здесь была.
The floorboard doesn't care. But maybe the washerwoman does. You have enough to confront her with.
Или это тот пистолет? Это не мой пистолет.
You get the feeling this isn't ammunition against you. It's for herself.
Пистолет с одной пулей. Круто. Я думаю, это мой пистолет. Я уже хочу свой пистолет. Можно мне мой пистолет? Лейтенант Кицураги, я, кажется, нашел орудие убийства. Оружие. Ну чё, я не могу тебе рассказать про оружие? Серьезно? А где? Нет, не так. Куда он? А куда он положился-то? Просто как вещественное доказательство даже вне. Я точно его забрал. Я точно его забрал. Видимо, мне не дадут пистолет, чтобы я не застрелил Кона. Ладно.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night.
А, это патрон.
What can I help you with?
Тут
Damn
крючок.
that girl.
And without anger, a long and harsh life has taught her not to buckle under pressure.
The bullet? You didn't put it there, did you? She did.
Gone and hid things in there? She's usually a good tenant, and not a stupid one either. Yes, I let my room to that Ruby girl. As I've done before when she's been in trouble or just looking for solitude. I've made it clear, we welcome all kinds of people here. She came last Friday, left on Monday in a hurry. What has she gotten herself into, that girl?
She seems genuinely worried about her previous tenant. She's seen her hiding out from trouble before. But this seems different.
That's for the police to find out. Right then. Please answer each question to the best of your ability. I'm sure we have a few.
Yes, early with the dogs, around 8 o'clock, I think.
She probably heard the Lieutenant's Kanema drive by, and it woke her up, just like it did you.
Yes. That is a downside of having a 130 kilowatt engine. It lets the bad guys know when you are coming.
I cleaned it, like I always do. No. She's good company. Knows how to talk to an old woman. At my age, you don't get a lot of quality conversation. So I really appreciate that about her.
Did she talk to you much during her last stay?
No, she was mostly silent this time, kept to herself. She tried not to let it show, but I could tell she hadn't come to fish. Usually she likes to cast a few lines, but this time she mostly stayed in her room. How would I know? She's a gruff one, but not violent. She doesn't go around toting a gun.
You could ask her about your hunch, that it was a desperate measure. See if she thinks Ruby fits the bill.
Aye, do tell. Exit from what?
The lieutenant stops writing for a moment. He looks at you, then at the old woman.
No, she's a fighter.
Ладно.
Nothing of the sort. Sure, she was no stranger to the bottle. She fit in that way. But I only knew her to have a beer on the beach while watching the sunset.
The sun sets for everyone.
She isn't what you'd call a drunk. Even offered me some from time to time. Said it was part of the communal life. But I never saw her lose control of herself, the way some people do. Not that I know of, though she was into nice music. She once showed me a few mixtape milieux she'd made. Although I guess she was pretty handy with the mechanical and technical stuff. Even fixed the heater in the shack. You should be thankful for that. I don't know. Further up the coast, she tried to leave quietly, but the hinges on that door screeched like a cat in heat. Woke me up. I heard her rushing in those heavy boots, heading up north.
It's a peninsula. She might be trapped.
Да, дверь.
You'll never find her, you know. She knows the coast like the back of her hand. You only just arrived.
I wouldn't worry about that, ma'am. We are persistent.
Are you sure you would rather stay here? Get a nice cozy fire going in the heater? Seems like a better idea to me.
The Feld electric mural. You feel like you should go look at it again. Step closer this time.
Кого? Печку?
One thing, officer. If you do find her, please go easy on her.
She really means it. It's an honest plea.
She's a good girl. Whatever she's gotten herself mixed up in.
Что? Куда взглянуть? На кого взглянуть? Джин-джин-джин-джин-джин. Так. Ну, я думаю, мы сегодня именно до конца. Глупо сейчас где-то вот через 5, да, 15 поставить все на паузу, сохраниться и... Че посмотреть? Кого смотреть? Ничего не вижу. Не понял, о чем говорит Империя. Так что... Пойдемте искать. Но я думаю, я знаю, где она. Там место, где спрятаться, может только одно, которое сильно заперто. Главное успеть спеть в караоке. Надеюсь, если сейчас что-то пойдет. Ладно, не буду. Да я даже думать об этом не хочу.
An old door, worn by elements, guards the depot.
It's military. A service day. Probably something that is no longer there.
Только не говорите, что мне надо все-таки подумать мысль о двери. У меня просто нет очков, чтобы что-то забыть. Ладно. 40 минут. Пойдемте пока поищем документы. В тростнике, только где, я не помню. Пойдемся по всему. Странно, что, ну, типа, у меня четкие подозрения, да, то, что она там сидит, а лейтенанты, ну, типа, не думают об этом. Неужели я могу быть неправ? А точно не в церкви, точно не с этими пацанами. Точно не с этими ребятами.
Hello again. No.
Just no?
It's pretty desolate here. I only hear the dogs bark at night and see the shadows move down the coast. Exactly. It's our chance to turn the grim desolation into an overwhelmingly fun dance party.
Да. Так, ладно, где там документы искать? Мне надо... Сейчас. Чё? Документы нужны мне, документы. К западу. Чё, только что же мысль какая-то была. Алло. Ты чё? Ты чё, старик? Ладно, потом. Сейчас за документами схожу. Так, как там пройти там? Сейчас вспомню. Вот так вот.
A metal and plastic contraption bobs up and down amidst the trembling reeds. At first, it just looks like trash, but if you look closer...
That, over there. Must be the boy Klaas you told us about. The one she hid her passport in. We should take a look.
You lift the boy out of the water without much effort. It's not tied to anything. The cords dangling from the bottom appear to have been cut. The number 11 has been written on the yellow plastic. It hasn't been in the water for very long, but it's already discolored and slimy with silt. A latch holds it close, but only just barely. The brittle metal of the latch has cracked.
Simple construction. Very unsafe.
A shot glass's worth of seawater pours out, some algae, and nothing else.
Well, damn. We still got here too late. There's nothing of use here anymore. I have no idea. Or think we do. This is a small loose end, either way. Not important, I hope.
Блин, да она нам наврала.
That may very well be the case. We should keep an eye on her. Nothing more for us to do here.
You could ask the miss what she thinks, later, if you have the time, though you doubt she'll tell you much at this point.
Подозрительно это. Сколько врать-то можно мне? Задолбало уже. Врет и врет, врет и врет. Я еще ведь ее отпустил. А если она сбежала? Если она сбежала? Что тут было? Я такой шел, что-то. Что-то было. Ну-ка. Меня же не проглючило. Так, сейчас я отойду немного. Артемке помогу. Я быстро. А вы пока подумайте, что нам делать. В танце, потому что и поговорил бы с Кассией, чё? Кто это сказал? В общем, потому что мне нужно время потянуть, чтобы сходить, спеть в караоке. Я боюсь, что если мы найдем Руби, мы не сможем попеть в караоке. Вот что я думаю. Антону в Геншин выпали новые персонажи, которые вот сейчас актуальны. Блин. Повезло, наконец-то ему что-то достойное выпало. Да ему будет потом это сказать, что он молодец. Не зря старался, делал всякие скучные вещи. Да, ему повезло. Ему явно повезло с таким другом, как я. Шутки в сторону. В левую сторону, в правую сторону. Что сначала ты?
The Coppernado is back. What do you want?
Я хочу про все это поговорить.
Like hell you have. There is no local drug trade. This place is as clean as a rifle. Go back to Jamrock and ask the local junkies how clean your streets are in Precinct 41 kilos.
We'll do that. In the meantime, did you know that there's an abandoned lorry at the intersection that was used to move raw ingredients for drugs from Terminal B to Jamrock? We know Ruby was the driver. We know that's your affiliation with her. Detective, you want to deliver the coup de grâce?
That's a mighty interesting theory. I guess that's what you would need to do, theoretically. A big, strong, state-run monopoly would outcompete the runts on the street.
Yeah, man. Theoretically, that's what you would do. To get rid of the gangs, the dealers, even some of the junkies.
You would need good, trustworthy people to take their place, of course. Hardy men to run such a monopoly. For the good of the community, of course. No, there aren't. Some little shit and his dad are doing speed. Who fucking who? The stuff's probably from Jamrock.
Ты задавал про мой Jamrock.
Whatever you've seen is peanuts. Look at the big picture, man. The place is a paradise. And all thanks to Hardy Boys.
Theoretically, of course. We're just talking politics here. My answer to your drug accusation is, how dare you? Go fuck yourself. You sure do love long walks through Theory Town, don't you? Well, I'm thirsty now. Thirsty for beer. Got any less theoretical questions, Cobb?
He doesn't let it show, but must be a little impressed. You've put a lot of things together, fast. He's practically saying yes. A yes to everything you said.
Yeah. By friends, you mean his squad mates from Cronell.
Wouldn't want to beat up his grandma.
This is what happens if you take the law into your own hands. Other people start doing it too.
Let them come. The Hardy Boys are right fucking here.
You heard the man. Right here. We're armed. We got the whole district behind us. And Glenn. Glenn is fucking crazy.
Yeah. A well-oiled murder machine.
Big fucking surprise. They hire psycho scum, arm them to the teeth, and let them loose in the city. What do you think is gonna happen? We got weapons of our own. We got Easter 50s, Zeelagers. Glenn's got a knock cannon at home. I guess we're gonna see, aren't we?
О, у нас гроза. Сейчас. Ой, где я, бабах? Странно, молния была очень далеко.
That was an unsure phrasing.
Yeah, like you've been up against ceramic armor. You haven't even seen the whole suit, right?
В смысле, я сам, у меня в кармане броня. Ты что, офигел?
Make him immortal. So are the local gangs, the fucking Barmy army, and the Madre scum. You've been out there. Seen any around?
Yeah. Where are they now, huh? Sent back to Madre in an airtight cargo crate.
These people are trained military professionals. Special forces, as you said. They're not a gang or Barmy army.
No, they're not. They're uncoordinated and drunk. We know more about them than you think. What do you mean, okay?
Да вам...
No, they won't. Get out of here with your negative energy.
He really doesn't like you ruffling their feathers like that, on what might be the eve of battle.
All he means is that the situation is serious.
No wonder you cops get shot to shit every day. Can't go to war with an attitude like that. Yeah? What? Anything else you want, Cobb?
Жалко мне вас. Чё, так и не хотите со мной разговаривать, собаки? Я почти дело раскрыл.
Again? I can't believe this shit.
I'm not getting involved in this.
It's not my style, he thinks.
Ой, да. Идиот. Говорят, что у нас будут похолодания и дожди. Но вот дождь идет, похолодания не чувствую. Да, кис? Загрузки как возможность немножко передохнуть. Но надо уже закончить, я не хочу это переносить. Прям вот конец же, вот он где-то вот тут, вот тут. Или я не прав, или что? Или что? Или как? Или неужели я не прав? Ого. Вот сейчас будет громко. Кошка, ты только не бойся. Спрятала нос. Кошка спрятала нос. А что сегодня так ярко сверкает, но так тихо? Не бойся, ладно? Фалос очень трусливый котик, боится. Пугается.
Officer, it's a fine day for questions.
Did you take the document?
No, of course not. As I said, it would have been too risky for me to use those documents anyway. My employer gave them to me. In truth, I should have destroyed them. Thank you, but actually, now that I think about it, you mentioned seawater. I was worried I'd been too careless with the latch mechanism. The documents were probably just washed away.
The words, washed away, sound distant and strange suddenly. Somewhere far away, a dog barks.
Ну ладно, немножко опыта, да? У меня есть уровень. И чего же нам не хватает? Мы так и не можем, да, поговорить с ней? Почему он недоступен? Может, у нее книгу купить, я не знаю. У нас есть еще одно очко опыта. Надо думать. Надо думать, куда его закинуть. Кись, как ты думаешь, куда закинуть? Киса не знает. Ладно, пойдем искать. Пойдем искать ее. Уже все, не отвлекаясь ни на что. Да, многое мы не... Ну, нет, ладно. Есть идея. Есть идея у меня. Так, это мы помотаем немножко время. Что-нибудь почитаем.
In your hands you hold 16 Days of Coldest April by Yekaterina Dar. The cover image shows a row of concrete apartments above which span a black and white rainbow. Indeed, the book is unusually heavy in your hands, as though the cover were lined with lead. It would do that in Grad. You flip through the book. The pages are thinner than you realized, and the type quite small and tightly set. It's nearly 600 pages long. Real art is dense and difficult. If it didn't feel like you had to wrestle a suicidal bear to get through it, you weren't really reading.
Мы немножко, совсем немножко почитаем. Надо спеть в караоке, а начинается все что-то в 7, что ли.
The back cover is dominated by a black and white photograph of the author. She can't be much older than her mid-30s in this photograph, and yet, from this cover, the eyes of a sad old woman stare back at you. In cold, detached prose, the author describes a scene from one of the Yugograd riots in the 20s. Youths overturned motor carriages and set trash cans ablaze, while heavily armored guardsmen dash in and disperse them in a flurry of baton blows. As ethnic tensions run wild, a pair of young lovers meet each other on the street. Somehow, in the middle of all the chaos, they manage to lock arms and look into each other's eyes. It would physically hurt you to keep reading, Are you sure? They go through a brief and somewhat awkward love affair, and in the end, they betray each other and succumb to the absurdity of Gradian life. The man becomes a lens grinder, completely abandoning his former existence. He toils through the daily drudgery at the Lenka polyfabricate. Happiness and fulfillment have eluded him his whole life. And, in the end, he has nothing to do but dedicate himself to the craft. She spends the next several decades standing at a conveyor in a Sosnovo fish processing plant. The smell of fish guts slowly seeps into her hair and skin, as every single one of her dreams dies, one by one. The memory of their short time spent together tortures the former lovers ceaselessly until the end of their days. Years pass in solitude, their bodies growing ever more decrepit. As life leaves their remains between the soil sheets, their final thoughts are filled with regret. One more door. There is no way to open the supply depot door. Accept it. You cannot open all the doors. You have to integrate this into your character. Some doors will forever remain closed, even if every single other door will open at one time or another. Maybe to a key, or maybe to some sort of tool meant for opening doors.
Мы
But
открыли
this
все
one
белые
will never
проверки.
accede to such commands. A realization crucial to personal growth. Crucial.
Хорошо. Белые проверки, это хорошо. Так, еще рано петь. Еще петь рано. Сходим-ка мы в библиотеку, в книжный магазин. Ирин, мы же дотянем сегодня до конца, правда? И не будем уже останавливаться. Ну, на самом деле, я на 100% не уверен. Я уверен на процентов 70 макс. Может, 65. Ну, может, не конец. Я не знаю. Хорошо, вот сейчас мы, короче, найдем Руби. Если там не конец, мы продолжим потом позже. Так, насколько помню, нужна драма, да?
Hello again, esteemed officer.
Нет. А
And
чё
welcome
все
to
белые...
Crime.
Нет, значит, все, мы идем. Идем уже конкретно. А чё все белые проверки обновились, а они не обновились? Вернее, разблокировались, а они не разблокировались. Какие-то другие белые проверки с дверьми. Так у нас только одна дверь осталась, насколько я помню. Можно было пойти попробовать толкнуть дверь в подвале снова, да? Ну ладно уже, не хочу. Нам нужно вот сюда. А во сколько нам петь в караоке предлагали? Ничего не уточнено. Ну, там что-то 19:00. Пойдемте к нашей двери.
An old door, worn by elements, guards the depot. The wind has...
From here, it's military. Probably something that it...
Нет, что ли? Блин, ну это же так логично. Ладно. Хорошо, пошлите искать следы. Какие-то следы? Где следы? Какие следы? Что за следы? А я вот вообще не вижу никаких следов. Что за лопатка из-за... А, здесь мы забрали броню. Тут... Вот это следы ботинок? Непонятно. Она ушла на север, но север никуда не ведет. Следы. Может, я там что-то упустил? Сейчас зайду в церковь. Поспрашиваю работницу. Блин, чё где искать-то мне?
An old door, worn by elements, guards the depot. The wind has blown a sand dune in front of it. The door hasn't been opened in a long while.
Давно не открывали, ну ладно, хорошо. Давно не открывали. Допустим. Может, такого видела?
Yes, what is it? What? No, no one's suspicious around here.
Но с чуваком мы уже никогда в жизни не поговорим, да? Она бы, кстати, могла попробовать спрятаться здесь. Может быть, нет. Ну, мы опять в те же тупики ходим, да? Ничего не понимаю. Ничего. Оп, оп, оп. Канализация. А ты что, не знаешь про канализацию?
Hello again. No, I'm afraid I can't help you with this one, officer. It's just a regular day off for me and Mikhail here.
So you haven't seen anyone around?
No, I'm sorry. As I said, this is just a day off. We just arrived anyway.
There's something friendly and familiar in how he says that. A day off.
Вот это был бы отличный проход в подвал. Это был проход в подвал.
The light vanishes inside the concrete slit. The structure goes deep under the earth.
No idea. Could be connected to one of the buildings around here. We might find her down somewhere. There's an old storm drain system beneath Martinez that's mostly collapsed. Revachel's sewage system has been built and rebuilt 4 or 5 times now. In conclusion, she could be under any building. I hope not.
Maybe it's just a storm drain for the sewer. There's no echo and no answer.
Нет, так просто ничего не бывает. Пойдем искать проход. Заколоченная дверь, может. Она... Что тут? Я же вроде здесь все собирал. Так, да, может внутри, давай попробуем пробиться. Не? Да... Офицер, пожалуйста, хватит надо мной издеваться. Ладно, сейчас что-нибудь придумаем, что-нибудь найдем. Что-нибудь придумаем, что-нибудь найдем. Какой-нибудь, может, люк, проход. Может, все-таки дверь? Дверь, я что, зря учил дверь?
An old door.
Ну, видимо, зря. Может, бабка знает, как попасть в канализацию. Сейчас спросим. Или мужики. Сейчас всех будем доставать просто. Слышь?
The legend! He's back! And firstly, I got
Tequila sunset. Can't really remember seeing any women after losing my keys.
Да.
What more do you want to know about?
Нет,
Yes.
все. Ничего, у меня нет никаких вопросов. Может, ты что-нибудь знаешь про строение местное? Ну-ка. Нет.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
Ничего. И ты тоже ничего не знаешь, да?
The sea's gonna calm down soon, I can feel it. The wind is turning southeast. What's on...
Нет, не буду оскорблять ее. Вдруг обидится. Надеюсь, я юг с севером, север с югом не перепутал и не иду в какое-нибудь не то место. Ну, типа, наверху ничего. Ну, вернее, ну да, подвал. Ну и чё подвал? Где вход-то, как попасть? Раздражает меня этот остров. Полуостров. А как же Артём задолбал. Сфоткай мне кошечку. А что там кошечка делает? Что кошка делает? Спит. Что она еще может делать? Ладно, все. Фух. Все, тихо. Не ругаемся. А что если тот подвал связан с этим подвал? Нет, тут море целое, не может такого быть. Ким, боже, да скажи мне что-нибудь, я не понимаю. Я как дурак петляю здесь. Может здесь какая-нибудь есть, не знаю, люк какой-нибудь, спуск. Ну тут явно нет. Электронный дверной звонок обновился. Дверь обновилась. Болевой порог сложный. Ладно, сейчас попробуем дверь выломать. Может, они реально как-то связаны. А тут в церкви нет какого-нибудь прохода вниз. Тоже не связано никак. А еще в домофон можно позвонить.
An old call box with a East Delta Commerce Center. This must be the name of the doomed commercial area. Whatever she says, it can't hurt you. You're a different person now. Stronger, healthier, and... Alright, maybe not healthier, but it's a bonus that you've drunk so hard you can't remember any of your past relationships. Oblivion's the ace in your corner. There's a light buzz as you press the doorbell, waiting for her to answer the call.
Мы все-таки будем делать перерыв.
And you can hear the wind blowing into the speaker. There's the static again, whispering like a seashell pressed against the air.
Yes, hello. This is Tricentennial Electric. Have you come to place an order?
Here come the bad vibes again. Relax. Distance yourself from it.
It's you. My God, I didn't think I would hear your voice again.
Wait, is she...
Michelle, just please. Why did you leave me home? I don't understand.
The voice from the intercom doesn't answer, but you can hear her breathing. Wind blows into your microphone again, crackling and echoing in the box.
Ever since I came to work here, it's been different. As if my mind's been wiped clean. It's so nice. It's so nice to be able to finally forget about you.
And then it hits you. She tries again not to cry, and still doesn't succeed completely. Her quiet sobs sound old and distant, as if her voice is being played off a wax cylinder. Real or not, your mirror neurons react. It feels painful to be listening to this. Her sound melts into the static from a long-distance phone call. From time to time, you can hear people talking in the distance, but can't make out any words. This is where you hung up the call the last time, but the recording is still going. A phone rings in the office with an old-fashioned chime, and someone walks by in a pair of heels. The static is like a warm blanket wrapped around the sounds. No one replies, but the static grows stronger like rainfall. Then a female voice speaks out, completely different from the one before. Glorious and total somehow. Her words are too cold to comprehend. She smells of sodium lights and rain streaks on car windows. Eyes like pilot lights watch your shape in dark hallways, guttering.
So... it was a recording trapped in the circuitry from some ancient tenant. This sometimes happens. Shall we conclude here? We have other mysteries to solve. Don't take this the wrong way, but during our short stint working together, something weird is almost always happening to you.
That is true.
Ну ладно. Пойдемте пихать дверь, толкать, ломать. Надеюсь, получится. Что нам надо, чтобы...
A heavy door with a missing handle stands
болевой
before
порог.
you, covered in dozens.
Кстати, шансов больше стало, да? Болевой порог. Понятно. Сейчас как приоденемся. Сколько там болевой порог? +2. Чё? Окей.
A heavy door with a missing handle stands before you,
83%.
covered in dozens, if not hundreds, of little oddly shaped
Я опять просрал, да?
trinkets and charms. It appears to be locked.
Она сейчас нам даст ключ. Потому что, ну, это бред.
Shoot. Whose moronic idea was it to just run through the door? Don't you know that things like that hurt?
Are you alright? This looked pretty intense and painful, I must...
barely looks like you've done.
У меня нет, кстати, лекарств для здоровья. Отдай мне ключ, я сейчас тебе уже голову
Hello
разнесу.
again,
Это будет
esteemed
гораздо...
officer, and welcome to Crime Red. Who? Oh, you mean?
Her filament memory.
In fact, it's odd how.
Как она меня бесит. Что делать-то? У тебя мама дура, ты знаешь об этом?
Hello again, sir. Crime fiction is about murders or burglaries or things like that, and the work of a policeman or a private detective who's trying to solve a crime and catch the criminals. And it's kind of like a puzzle too. You can guess who the criminal is or how the good guys are going to catch him. You don't look much like a policeman. Didn't mean to offend, sir. Sorry, sir. It's just that you don't look like Dick Mullen.
She looks at Dick Mullen, frowning. Dark, arrogant, violent, likely overcompensating for something. He isn't even drawn right. She examines the picture, trying to find whatever is wrong with it. She then shrugs and puts the book aside, unconvinced.
Sure you can, sir. He's just a fictional character. He'll be no match for you.
Вот так вот.
Maybe you can show me some real police work, sir. Like in the books.
The girl keeps her hands folded, hidden. Why is that?
What do you mean, sir?
She knows where this is going. She looks around anxiously. Her hands remain folded in front of her. The lieutenant stands by, looking at the two of you with little interest. A facade of true professionalism. He is far more intrigued by the situation than his poise reveals. She brings out her reddened hands, her nails frayed, nearly chewed down to the flesh.
And you knew this from me keeping my hands folded? Well, that proves nothing. Anyone could do an easy deduction like that.
She actually is impressed. This is more like a defensive reflex. She nods, half provocative, half enthusiastic.
Maybe so, sir. Okay, I know it's a bad habit, and I shouldn't. was okay, sir.
There's more that can be achieved here. Ask her to do the same.
You're quite sober.
The lieutenant does not flinch at the comment. He does not flinch even a single bit. He is intensely not flinching. It takes effort.
Because you usually aren't. I'm sorry, sir. I hope things get better soon.
There she stands, swaying on her feet, assaulted by the early spring breeze. She smiles at you. The whole situation suddenly feels familiar. There's something you're missing. Because you know each other. She's been talking to you so openly because you've talked before.
Yes, I stand in this spot all the time. You've been running around all week without your shirt on, sir, apologising to everyone. I don't really understand what you've done wrong. Of course, you've stopped by a few times. You certainly look better than the last time I saw you. Yeah, I can see. You don't have party eyes anymore.
Party eyes. Yes, of course. That makes sense.
I'm not surprised children have seen you running around with party eyes on, he thinks. Not at all.
You know, like a cat in the dark, all big and wide-eyed. It certainly looks odd on a man.
The swiveling eyes of a loony drug addict. That is what she meant. You were probably gurning too. Fuck yeah. You should get some party eyes right now. Snap those sequins on you, boy. Oh, baby, that's not what you have to worry about. Worry about the important thing.
I'm glad I could help you, sir.
Время тянем, да, мы?
It's the type of book where there's a rich lady and she has to choose between the good man and the bad man. Or there could be a story about a poor lady getting a rich man. It's about man and lady business, sir. It happens, but usually the guy gets rich in the process, or should actually be rich himself, but has lost his family property unjustly, like during the revolution or something. Those are unhappy books, for most of the pages. People sad about what they have lost, but then it all turns out just fine in the end. These are not very common. You can't have a choice between bad and bad. Nobody wants to read a story like that. Well, maybe then it's fine. Maybe if the lady then decides not to pick either, because she doesn't need a bad man. Yes, that would be interesting. That's really not a proper romance story. That's more like everyday life. Not in romance books, sir. These are about nice and pretty people, and everyone is happy in the end. I haven't read many of those. Maybe you should ask Mum. I don't think it's a romance story if the main characters break up, though. No, I don't know.
You can take this. Blossom like a pain flower. The girl is at a loss for words. She shifts and sways on her feet, looking confused and uncomfortable. Stop. There's no need for this. It's in your power to change the subject.
Да, все, ладно. Правильно.
Maybe some of our other books?
Все, нет, хватит. Блин, что делать-то? Я в растерянности абсолютно. Блин, вот настроился и поэтому расстроился. Не надо ничего ни на что настраиваться и не придется расстраиваться. Устали? Я устал. Ирина, вы устали? Я знаю, что устали. Я чувствую. Так, будем, наверное, сохраняться. Потому что мы почти, как почти ничего не сделали. Сделали, но недостаточно. Сделали, но недостаточно. Ладно, будем подводить итоги. Не успею, я устал, я уже не могу. Я думаю, сейчас все будет быстро, а что-то как-то все затянулось. Не все так легко, как мне кажется. Кто бы мог сомневаться. Так, мы сегодня почти все, что могли, сказали парням Харди, просто разговорили их на все оставшееся, да. Установили, что все-таки стреляла Руби. Вроде, самое вероятное, да. Что вот та девушка-дальнобойщица. Так, стоп. Чувак, у твоей подруги проблемы.
Oh, look. It's the cop who turned me into a bad...
Ладно, не буду с ним говорить. В общем, мы не можем найти пока Руби. Мы нашли кучу каких-то, нашли подвал. Но мы не можем туда попасть. Мы не можем попасть в книжный. Мы должны спеть в караоке после 7. Еще куча дел еще. А я хотел все по-быстрому закончить. Вот, поспешил, всех насмешил. Вот. Так что делаем паузу. И завтра продолжаем. Да, Разиль, тихо. Все. Пока-пока. До встречи. Завтра.